It's your girl with Exotical rants on another one. This time is a bit of a story time. This is why I don't trust ugly women. And I might even make this into a series because I have like a lot of stories, but let's get right into it. One reason I really don't trust ugly women because every experience I had with a woman that was less attractive than me or made herself unattractive to most people, it always turned out negative in some way. And I would say using ugly as unattractive, ugly spirit, intentionally not taking care of yourself, and dealing with weight issues that you refuse to address. So that's how I'm kind of defining it. This video is it's no means trying to talk about people. So yeah, so let's get right into it. Let's call her Jessica. So like, you know, I was so happy. I was like staying on my own, but I was living in like student apartments, right? So like I ended up going, it was like a Walmart like right next to like my student apartment, or not that far. So I drove up there, and I ended up meeting like this girl, and she lived in the same apartment as me. So I was like, oh cool. I'm like, she actually had walked up there. And we hit it off, we started talking, and I was like, hey, we're going the same way. You can just, instead of call Uber, you can just ride with me. We live at the same place. So we had a lot in common. We were like fast friends. So we did everything together, like literally like everything. Like she would like help me blow dry my hair, braid it. I would help her flat iron her hair because sometimes she would want to wear it straight and she had like a sew in. So like we were like fast friends. This friend was an unambiguous dark skinned black woman, but she was super cool, I thought, you know. So like anything she asked me to do, I wouldn't mind doing it, like vice versa. We were super cool, right? Okay, so everything was going good. We would always help each other out. We stayed in different apartments, different student apartments, but like we were planning to like move in like the same student apartment together because again we were fast friends. We like shared everything together. Like we would go to the grocery store together. Like we would just do stuff together. Or if like she was off work and I was off work, we would just like, oh, let's go to the store together. Let's go do this. Like we were just like fast friends. Or like she would ask me for advice on like I guess like girly stuff. Like because she was a really good braider, so she would ask me advice on like clothes and stuff and like, you know, like fitness because I was like always going to the gym and stuff and staying in shape. So she was like, oh, what's your diet like? So like I literally like wrote it down for her, like text her everything like what I eat and told her like she comes to the grocery store with me too because like I was like, when I go to the grocery store you can come. I go at night, and I know she used to get off late too. So I was like, we can just go together if you want to come one day. Just let me know. Long story short, so we were the best of friends. Like I ended up meeting her like some of her family members because they came and visited her. And again, we were friends and we were always together on our off time. So I ended up meeting like her aunt and like all of her cousins. And her cousins kind of looked like me. They were like mixed-ish looking girls with curly hair. So I literally fit in with them, and like they were super cool. Okay, let's speed this up. I ended up meeting like a dude she was dealing with. Like this was supposed to be her boyfriend, you know. I ended up meeting him. He was like a mixed guy. He was really using my friend. I didn't like it, and I told Jessica like, hey, I don't like the fact like he's like I kind of told her in a nice way like, hey, like I mean, why, like is he like trying to live with you now? Like it was like he was like literally like kind of using her as like an emotional dumpster, and like he needed a place to stay. He was very unstable, and like he would always like he would even ask her to ask me for rides and whatnot. Again, like I really thought she could do better, and like we even discussed like her getting like a weight loss surgery and whatnot, because she was really unsatisfied with how she was looking, and she had been like depressed and stuff, and she was dealing with a lot of stuff. Long story short, but I was like a really good friend with her. I was like, whatever you want to do, I definitely would support your recovery. If you want to do something like that, that's fine. I totally understand it. Again, because like I mean, I've never been overweight, but like my weight fluctuates, so I totally understood it. Because sometimes I'm super slim, and then sometimes I'm kind of on the thicker side, but I've never gained like a lot of weight where like I felt issues like somebody would like call me overweight or whatnot. Moving on, so. He basically, long story short, he was very like he was obviously talking to other girls. Like I knew it. She kind of was thinking that he was too, and she was actually talking to other guys because she figured he was talking to other girls too. But she kept him around because she said she really loved him, so she kept him around. So like long story short, like I was like on my level up journey at this point, so I was eating super healthy. I was like exercising like almost like every like about 5 out of 7 days a week I was exercising. I was going to we had a sauna at our apartment, so I was going to the sauna. I was really trying to stay in shape. Because I was really looking for like I was trying to get married soon, and I was like I need to stay in shape. I need to have my stuff together. So again, like I was working on getting my hair healthy because I was wearing it straight a lot. So it was kind of like I felt like I was damaging it a bit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to like find like somebody to like, you know, trim my hair. I'm really trying to like stay in shape and just be more healthful with my like natural beauty. Long story short, I ended up getting engaged. Yeah, and like she actually like I hadn't talked to her in a minute because she was like all booed up with that guy. So I hadn't talked to Jessica. So when I did see her again, I was at the gym. She called me and I was just like, where are you? I was like, I'm at the gym, our apartment gym. So she came downstairs and I actually had the engagement ring on. Like I literally forgot to take it off because I'm working out. At this point, I'm engaged, so I'm on like I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm engaged. I gotta stay skinny. I want to fit into a dress. I want to look super cute. So I was excited about my new life journey, and I felt like I really met a quality person. So I was super excited. So she came down there and she saw my ring and she's like, oh my god, like you're so pretty. And then we gave each other hugs. We started talking. I just kept exercising. I'm like, okay, get on the treadmill with me while I talk. We can just walk slowly while I talk, whatever. So we're on the treadmill, we're just talking, and then she was like, I gotta tell you something. So I'm like, what, Jessica, what are you gonna tell me? She's like, I got a surprise too. And I'm like, what? She was like, I'm actually married. I'm like, you are? I'm like, congratulations. So I'm like super excited for her, and so I'm like, okay, hey. I said, hey. I was like, when did you get married? She was like, actually, I got married on Saturday. I was like, you did? So I was like, I'm super excited for her. So I was like, oh my god. And I said, well, let me see your marriage license because I'm about to go get one. So I want to see how it's gonna look. And she's like, I don't have it. They said they will mail it. At this time, I immediately knew she was lying because I worked for an attorney, and I was like, and this is before like COVID and stuff. I was like, they mailed it. I was like, okay, that's weird. So like, I knew she was lying, and then when I went back to work, I kind of asked like the attorney I worked for, like, hey, like, do they mail in this state? Do they mail, you know, your marriage license? Don't you get it the same day? I thought you get it the same day because again, I'm always at the courthouse, so I see people waiting for that service. I mean, so he's like, yeah, you're right. They don't mail it when you go down there. You get it the same day. And I'm like, that's what I thought. Long story short, I knew she was lying. So I was like, oh, I'm so happy for you. I let it go. But like in the back of my head, I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna have to start distancing myself from her because she literally tried to take my happy moment. Like she literally cannot let me have my shine for like 5 minutes. And like honestly, was really hurt by that because I thought we were really good friends. We shared like everything, like literally. So I'm like, what's going on? I was like, why she didn't let me just have my moment? So it was just like really weird. So I kind of distanced myself from her. And then finally, like I think after a couple weeks, she came around and she called me and was like, hey, I just want to confess something to you. I was lying. And then she said her boyfriend told her to lie. And I was like, oh, okay. I knew that was another lie because I'm like, why would he tell you to lie? Like it didn't even make sense. And at this point, like I was kind of fed up with her because she had texted me a ring, like some old looking ring. She said that he gave her. It was like a very older looking ring, but I knew it was not new, and I knew like that was like her mom's ring. So I was like, oh, okay. So like I just kind of let it go. Again, I started distancing myself because I was moving anyway. I didn't tell her, but I was moving anyway, so I didn't really care. So I was like, yeah, I just knew it was like some BS. So I was like, let me just like kind of like go away from her for a minute. So I ended up getting engaged. I ended up eloping, getting married, and I moved to another state. When I was in this other state, she started blowing my phone up, calling me. I answered and we talked and like. Literally, she was like, you know what? Like, she was like, I know you haven't had your ceremony yet because of, like COVID and stuff. So why don't I just help you plan your ceremony? Again, I did not want her to plan my ceremony. I was like, oh, that's okay. My grandma is helping me do it. I'm really close to my grandmother. So I was like, I'm letting my grandma help me do it because like literally that's like I really trust my grandma and she knows what I like, whatnot. So me and my grandma was planning it. I was like, it's okay, just come. You can just like help me pick out the dress and photos and stuff like that. You don't have to really do anything. I kind of just you can just like be a bridesmaid or whatnot because I don't have any bridesmaid. I just have like a maid of honor that was my cousin or not. So like I was like, you can be a bridesmaid or whatever and just do it like that. I really don't need you to do that. Me and my grandma got this. She begged me to let her plan be like the wedding planner. And I was like, oh, well, do you want to be paid? I can pay you how much, because I know she does events. So I was like, how much do you think you'll charge or that you'll need? She said, I'll do it completely free. We're friends. I love you. You're like my sister. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking like I was like, okay, I guess I'll give her another try. I think she's getting better. Oh my God, this was the worst decision ever. She sat on the phone with me for hours. I think we might have been on the phone on and off over a week for about 10 hours planning everything out. And then I was supposed to drive back to the other state I lived in and like meet up with her and go to the venue and whatnot. How about when I drove all the way to the other state to meet up with her? First, she didn't pick up. So I called her back because, I drove all the way out here. It was like a 2.5 hour drive. I called her back and I started texting her like, hey, I'm here. I'm about to like run to my aunt's house, but like, where are you so we can meet up or I can come pick you up? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? You said you found a venue. You were going to, I was like, text me the address. I'll just meet you there. And she's like, what are you talking about? I immediately knew she was like a BSer. I just hung up on her. I was like, you know what I'm talking about? Okay. And I just hung up. And I'm like, I drove over 2.5. I'm super tired too. So like, I literally like pull over. I called my grandma and told her what was going on. And my grandma was like, I told you to not even worry about it because me and you were going to do this and not to include her because I figured she might do some stuff like this. And I was so upset. And she was like, literally like, just block her and like come over here now. So like, I literally like blocked her and I drove straight to my grandmother's house. I was really upset because I'm like, again, like, I thought you were making up for being like a BITC, whatever it is. I was like, I thought you were making up for being a horrible ass friend. So no, she wasn't. She just wanted to like literally try to ruin every little happy moment I had. So I literally had to cut her off. I blocked her. This girl was so crazy. She started calling me from another number and saying, I'm so sorry. I was just tired. And I'm like, we've been planning this. And I called her before I left home. And I'm like, long story short, that moment, I started to remember all the other moments I dealt with like unattractive women or women that have low self-esteem. And I realized I cannot be friends with women like this. They will sabotage you. They will try to take they can never let you have your moment, your shine. They always have to be the Beyonce of the group. They can never let you have your shine. They want to really be the Beyonce of the group when they're really like the Michelle of the group. Like they're really like not that like they're just like the replacement for somebody else because somebody else left. So they can never let you have your shine. So if you're an exotical and you want to have like a positive relationship with other women, I do not suggest you be friends with less attractive women. They have to be on your level or better because they will hate and sabotage you. Long story short, this girl is still trying to be my friend to this day. And it's really sad because honestly, I feel like she's not a bad person, but she is a very envious and jealous person. And until she gets herself together, she will never even be a good friend to herself. Long story short, Exoticals, beautiful women of the world, stay away from less attractive women and women that are like, they don't put time and effort into themselves because they will see everything you do as too much. They will try to sabotage positive moments for you because they feel like they can't have them themselves because they don't want to do the internal work or even the outside work or the physical work of beautifying themselves. They just don't want to do it. So stay away from them and literally protect your peace by connecting with other women that have high self-esteem, high self-worth, and really love on themselves inside and out. And the sad part about it is this particular girl, Jessica, we'll call her, she literally got heartbroken by the guy that was using her. And one day she called me and told me about it. Again, at this time she called me, we weren't even friends. So, and I felt bad for her. So she kept calling me from different numbers. So I talked to her a moment, but I knew in my heart, like, this would probably be like our last conversation because I knew like she was just calling me because she had nobody else to talk to. And like, I didn't want to like just go back and forth with her or make her think we'll ever be at the level we were when we first began our friendship journey. Long story short, protect your peace, remain beautiful, and continue to work on yourself. Bye, pretty girls.